How is it going, everyone? Welcome to our, what is that, Wednesday night live stream, I believe. This is our usual weekly Q&A slot. I don't really have a schedule anymore, at least not for now. I don't know why I don't have a stream schedule yet. I just don't. I kind of like having the freedom of not committing to streams right now and just streaming when I have time. However, tomorrow night is a little bit of a different story. Tomorrow night, about 9 p.m. Central Standard Time or Central Time, whatever. I don't know if daylight savings time is on or off right now. I can barely pay attention to what time it is right now on my computer when it says 9:28 p.m. At 9 p.m. tomorrow, we will be streaming a game. It is a sponsored stream. We have never, in the history of this channel, done a sponsored stream before. The name of the game is, I don't even have it installed yet. I probably should install it tonight. The name of the game is, Fairy Fencer F. It is a game by Idea Factory. It looks really, really cool. It's been on Steam, I think, for a while, and it's coming to Switch. So we will be live streaming that tomorrow. It is a sponsored stream. So what does a sponsored stream mean? It doesn't mean they just write me a fat check and I stream a game. I wish that's how it worked, right? Wouldn't it be great if they would reach out to me and be like, hey, we're going to hand you $1,000 and you're going to stream this game. Maybe that's how it works for the big boys, but that's not how it works for me. So, what's happening is Fairy Fencer F is sponsoring a stream for me tomorrow, and how that sponsorship works is not just that I get the game for free and I get to play it on Switch and blah, 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 but it's that if we have over 50 live viewers, which is kind of the key thing that I'm not so sure we're going to do. Our channel has the ability to have over 50 live viewers, but, trying to guarantee it for that game is hard. Our game streams usually don't do that well. So we'll see how maybe I can title it or how I can entice people to show up. Anyways, the point is that if we have over 50 live viewers, for every minute of the stream you watch, I make a penny from each of those 50 live viewers. So I would make 50 cents. So if you do the math, 2 hours would be $60, basically. So I can make $60 off of that. If I stream for 3 hours, then I could make, $75 or whatever if we have 50. If we have more than 50, we have 100 plus, obviously it's $1 per minute, and the money goes way up, and it goes from 60 to like $120, whatever, and it caps out at 600, so I can't make more than 600. However, the chances of us having so many live viewers that I'm going to actually cap out at $600 is slim to none, but I would appreciate if we could somehow pull that off. The nice thing is, one thing that might actually help push it, there's really two things. One, we're going to be giving away a copy of the game during the stream. I'm literally staring at the code for it right now. They have given me a code to give away during the stream. So having a giveaway during the stream, having giveaway in the title of the stream tomorrow is probably going to help entice some people to come, even at least check out the game and see if they even want a chance to win that game for free. What's also really cool is we have a second stream tomorrow. So we're kind of giving you a double feature, a double whammy of Fairy Fencer F. They are hosting a launch party or a reveal stream or something on my channel and on my Twitch channel. They're hosting it on some other channels as well, but whatever. It's going to be on my channel right here at Nintendo Prime on YouTube. On this, like what you're seeing right now, it will be them streaming on my channel. They will be streaming an 1.5-hour reveal event for the game, showing off a bunch of gameplay, talking about it, all that stuff. I'm not even sure what the event's going to be like. I'm hoping it's not an embarrassment and then I decide to shut down the stream myself because they're embarrassing my channel because I can't control what they're doing, but I doubt that's going to be the case. This is a game that is well known. This is also a developer that's well known. I'm pretty sure that I won't have to worry about anything, but they are streaming directly on my channel at 5 p.m. Pacific, so that would be 7 p.m. Central Time tomorrow. So I will be streaming 2 hours after that. They will be streaming for an 1.5 hours on my channel. I do also make the sponsorship money during that stream. So if you show up to that stream and we have 50+ viewers on that stream, and I can't control the title or anything, or so I don't know if we're going to get 50+ viewers. It's, you know, a really neat thing that we get to like have this launch unveiling of this game for Switch on our channel. It's really cool. I've never seen anything like this. It's an amazing opportunity. Even if I don't make any money, the game looks fantastic. So it's great to even just know my channel's considered for something like this. So if you stay for that one, that's $45. If you stay for the entire 2 hours of mine, that's $60. That means I can make $105 tomorrow off this sponsorship. And this is in addition to any super chats we get, any donations we get. And that's just if we hit 50 viewers. If we have 60, 70, 80, 100, it's just the money just goes up from there. And it's a great way to support the channel, even if you end up not liking the game. It's a great way to support the channel without having to necessarily open up your wallets. And that's kind of how I'm advertising it right now. Is the game looks great, but I mean, I've never played it, so I can't vouch for its greatness until I play it. It is a sponsored stream, so obviously there's kind of that, it's a sponsored stream, so like, you know, it's not a game I'm ever going to review or anything like that because I was sponsored for it. Like, I'm probably not going to say a ton of negative things about it during the stream, but the idea is that, hey, it's a way for you guys to show up, get a look at a great game, possibly win a copy of it on Switch, and yeah, help me make more money at the channel without actually spending any money. It's actually been really interesting lately. We've had a lot of sponsorship opportunities at the channel. No, there will not be any swearing. So one thing I will have to make sure is they're not going to be monitoring the chat because this is all happening through an external program, and they won't have access to the chat. So what I need to make sure is that we have some mods present to kind of simmer people down if it's getting out of hand. I'll probably be present myself, to be honest, answering questions and letting people know about the second stream in the middle of that stream and all that stuff. So I'll be there to moderate too, but in case I'm still putting my kids to bed or whatever's going on, you know, having another mod or two present during their stream for sure, I'm going to appreciate. So if there are any mods watching and you could make it to that 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Central stream that they're doing on my channel, that would be fantastic. The code word for bad game is interesting. It actually, like, it reviewed well. This game has reviewed well, I think, on PC and PlayStation 4. So it's not a game that I am ashamed. I wouldn't have agreed to it if, like, the first thing I did when they asked me about the sponsorship is I looked up the game and saw that actually it reviewed pretty well and it looks pretty cool. So I wouldn't agree to a sponsorship if I didn't at least think the game had potential to be pretty good on Switch. That being said, I've had a lot of sponsorship opportunities. My MCN, for the first time in over 2 years, contacted me today about a sponsorship opportunity. That's never happened before. I mean, they were supposed to be contacting me about sponsorship opportunities for the past 2 years. They never did it. Now they're doing it, and they're doing it in the midst of me telling them that I want to cancel my contract this year. So I think they're just trying to do everything they can to keep me. But there's another sponsorship opportunity that might come, and that one's more of a standard sponsor. That's just like an ad at the beginning of a video where it's like, hey, this video is sponsored by blah, 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 and then I get into the video. I also have a video that's been completely paid for, a true sponsored video coming out soon, a new Prime Family episode that 2K paid for. I'm not going to say much more than that. Some of our people on our Patreon Discord already know what I'm talking about. But yeah, we have that video coming out. It's already been recorded. It's already in editing. It might even arrive tomorrow. It might even land on the channel tomorrow. That was a paid for video, a paid episode of Prime Family where 2K reached out to me and dropped some money in my lap and said, hey, here's a game. Here's some stuff. Why don't you have a family game night, put it on video, and make a thing of it? So we'll be doing that. That's another sponsored thing. That's awesome. Thank you. If anyone from 2K is watching, thank you so much for that opportunity. I don't know why you decided to reach out to my channel of all channels. I didn't contact them. They contacted me. But thank you so much. And there's a couple other sponsorship opportunities that are kind of up in the air. I've also been getting a ton of review codes for indie games, like a ton of them. How's it going, babe? My fiance just walked in on over there.
Aren't your fiance?
Oh, what are you then?
I'm a hooker.
You're not a. I can't even say that right now. Anyways, what's up?
What are you doing?
What? I'm just doing a little stream because I usually stream on Wednesdays. Why?
Today's Wednesday.
Tomorrow's Thursday. You have to go back to work tomorrow. No. What time? 2.
What are you telling everybody my schedule?
They don't even know where you work. So what are you
Better
worried
mute
about?
that shit.
Okay, I will mute and then ask you what time you work. All right, sorry about that. I was just talking to my fiance. We had a couple of super chats come in. Wallet open to support the channel, says Matthew. Make sure that's the only couple of super chats that I didn't miss anything else here. Let me not mute the desktop audio entirely. We had a $2 super chat from Matthew Campos there. So wallet open to support the channel, and then Robert Smith comes in with 201 saying, "You think you're better than me? I'm Donate Boy." Oh man. So yeah, we just had like I was saying, we just had a lot of sponsorship opportunities come in. Now I'm getting a ton of review codes. I don't even know what to do. Like most of these review codes, I might download the games. I don't know. But like I'm not doing reviews of all these indie games. I don't have the time. But it doesn't mean I won't play some more games. I had another company contact me about yet another case for Switch they want me to review. However, this case is kind of neat, but I'm not so sure because they're like this company in China that wants me to buy the case off Amazon and then they'll refund me. Not really cool with that, to be honest. How do I, like, don't get me wrong, the case looks cool and I'm kind of interested in owning it myself, but like I don't really trust a complete stranger out in China to refund me for an Amazon purchase. I mean, it sounded like a really expensive purchase anyways, but it just kind of made me not want to review that product, even though it does look interesting. And that's just something that, you know, if I was going to review that, I would just buy it for myself. I would be curious when you said indie games, any particular kinds of genres? All sorts of genres. All over the place. I'm not even kidding. I mean, obviously, we have this thing we're doing with Fairy Fencer F, but more than that, you know, I got a review copy from Devolver Digital for a game. I'm not going to get into what game it is, but it is a arcade-like challenge is what I guess that's what they call it. So I have one from them today. I got another. What's this game? I got sent this other one that comes out on January 26th. I was sent a code for, although it doesn't. There's a lot of footage of it on. Oh, it actually looks. The art style looks cool, but does it tell me what kind it is? It is. It has traps, puzzles, dodge enemies, split into mini creatures. So I don't know. Whatever you think that kind of thing is. It looks like a side-scrolling game. I got sent a code for that today. I got my email from 2K about the payment for the video that I'm making. They claim it's supposed to come tomorrow, but we'll see. We'll see if it actually arrives. Because I'm basically going to have the video edited and done tonight, and then when the money clears, you know, I'll put it up because I'm going to make sure that not that I don't trust 2K to pay, but I just want to be sure that sponsorship, the money actually comes through before I publish anything. Because if it doesn't come through, then it's no longer a sponsored video, and I don't know if I'm going to put it up, at least in the form that it's in right now. And let's see here. Here's another indie game I was sent yesterday. So I'm getting like 2 or 3 indie games sent to me a day. It's nice, but I honestly don't have time to review all these games. And they're not, to be fair, they're not all requesting reviews. Some are like, hey, I just want you to check out this game, you know. You don't even have to stream it, just play it. Maybe it's just to get their player count up at the start. Maybe it's just or whatever they're trying to do. It is really cool to get them. It would be nice to get some more AAA early access codes. Not that there's a ton of those on Switch right now, but when they do come, obviously Nintendo putting me in their ambassadors program would be great. Hello, Nintendo. How's it going? It would be cool to get review codes for your guys' games too. We are a Nintendo channel after all, but I only do like 1 or 2 reviews a month, so I already have a review almost done right now, plus the Let's Go review that's coming as well this month. That one's almost done too, so I think the Let's Go review might land next week since I'm releasing a review already this week. So there's just a lot going on. Cody Shadley pops in and hits the donate button. Says he donated $2.02 through the Streamlabs donation link. It says yes I am. Talking to Robert. Are we about to get in a penny bidding war here? because he donated $2.02, 1 penny ahead of Robert. So yeah, it's we just got a lot of interesting things happening at the channel. I don't know that we're gonna keep getting these interesting things happen. Once this 2K video comes out, they might regret that they contacted me for it. Once these other sponsorships come through, they might regret that they contacted me for it. I might make absolutely nothing off tomorrow's live stream sponsorship. So there's just a lot of, at least someone gets a free game out of it. So besides me, so that's cool. It's just a lot of stuff going on that I'm trying to keep my mind wrapped around because I have to organize all this crap myself. I don't really have a secretary to keep me on track. I don't have, another editor or another person to help me work through all this stuff or answer the business emails. I get a zillion of them now every day, and I'm trying my best to keep up, but it's hard when you sit here for like 3 hours just answering emails and not actually making videos. And another reason that this stream is going to be short tonight is because I just got videos to edit, man. I've got 2 videos for sure I need to get done tonight. I don't know if I'm going to get another one done that's going to release tonight. We'll see. There might be one that does like a midnight release. We'll see. I'm not sure. But I'm just busy. I got a lot going on at the channel now, man. It's awesome. It's scary, but it's awesome at the same time. And if the sponsorships keep rolling in, that's just all additional revenue and stuff like that. Although it's weird claiming it on my taxes because they just do weird methods of paying out that stuff. Whatever. It's all this year, so I guess I don't have to worry about it till tax season next year, right? I also have my taxes filed for this year already. Well, they're all ready to be filed. They can't file till the 28th, but anyways, you guys are awesome. All right, so what do you guys want to talk about? What do you got here? Let's see here. No one said anything on Twitch yet, so we'll just look at. So, what do you guys want to talk about? Whoa, Echo, why are you talking, Twitch? There we go. Let's see here. We had Fairy Fencer F, Advent Dark Force is the game. Can you show us the white switch you said? Yes, I can. It's just a white backplate. Ta-da! There it is. It is a white switch backplate. Custom backplate. Blah, blah, blah. That's all. Nothing fancy. Has the kickstand. All that great stuff. Put that back up there. I'm actually charging those Joy-Cons. You might notice there's black Joy-Cons on there. Those aren't actually mine. Those are Eric's. I had to borrow it for the Prime Family episode because we needed 4 Joy-Cons. And I only have 2. I only have these blue ones that have chew marks all over them and need to be replaced. Or maybe I can just reshell them. Although reshelling Joy-Cons is not fun. But it's not that... it's not that hard either, to be honest. It's just remembering how it goes back together once you take it all apart. Anyways, your channel is growing. The channel's growing. Channel's doing all right. Viewership is starting to dip down a bit now. Today, obviously, I didn't put out a video till really late, so what are you going to do? That obviously is going to make viewership dip when you're not putting out videos during the day. Plus, yesterday, the videos we did yesterday didn't really do too well. Probably because the topics didn't interest people. Like we had the, why did the Wii U fail? One of our podcast highlights. I think because it was 25 minutes long, people didn't want to tune in. The highlight was probably too long. I probably should have shortened it, but the VLC player video did really good. The Nintendo Russia General Manager story crawled to 1,000 views. That wasn't a good performer for us. The Link Coming to Mario Tennis Aces thing, that really crawled. Now, the Mortal Kombat 11 news didn't even hit 1,000. So, new Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe outsells the Wii U release in the UK. That didn't do well. So, the podcast is actually, that's 900 plus views is actually pretty good for the podcast. So, we haven't had a really good video on the channel in 3 days. So, of course, traffic's going down. There's still videos being made, just people aren't interested in what I'm talking about. And that kind of happens. That's the way it goes in the news cycle. You get the news that everyone's interested in, and then you get the news that people just don't care about. What are you going to do? I don't know what people care about. I just know what I care about. So I talk about what I care about, and then I hope that everyone else cares about it too. But as the numbers show, people aren't really caring about it. So maybe the deep learning story today, maybe that'll end up doing pretty well. I don't know. It's at like 550 views in an hour, but we'll see. We'll see if that keeps growing or not. So yeah, the channel's doing fine. It's just I'm trying to now that the views starting to go down. Like yesterday, we had our first day in almost 3 weeks under 10,000 views. We were at like 9,900 something. That scares me. I want to get it back up. So like, what are you gonna do? I can't make people watch the channel. I'm just trying to keep that momentum at 10,000 and up, and then start working towards making it 15,000 a day, and then keep increasing month over month is kind of my goal there. So let's see here. Nick Figure says, don't lie to us, Nate. I know your fiance was just an excuse to mute your mic so you and Reggie can discuss this upcoming direct. I could tell how ready your body was. Yeah, sure. I was totally talking to Reggie and tossing Reggie my check card too, right? Told him to go buy us a couple coffees. It's going to be a long night. I have a long night ahead of editing. Kind of figures when you finish when you want to finish Octopath, now you get business opportunities. I mean, the business opportunities aren't taking anything away from like all these indie games being sent to me. I'm still playing Octopath. Once I'm done with my 2 reviews, Octopath is happening, and I'm gonna finish that game off. It's just gonna happen because I'm not gonna play another game this month for review after those 2 games. So it doesn't mean I'm not going to play any of the games this month. Just means I'm not focused on, like, oh, I need to beat, like, this game for a review. Like, no, I don't have to worry about that until February. So, let me see here. Scrolling down. Did you get the Piranha Plant code yet since you were still having trouble with it? No, I have not. I know, I'm running out of time. I beat Majora's Mask 3D, all masks. Did I do you proud, Nate? I mean, sure. Congrats. I mean, it's a nice achievement. A lot of side quests in that game, so I'm glad you powered through it all. But then again, the side quests are amazing, and you want to do them, right? So like, I mean, there's a couple tedious ones in there, but it's not as bad. Once you learn all the different songs, you can speed up time and slow down time, and skip to different parts of days. Then it's really not too bad. Just stream you editing the videos, we'll watch you. Here's the thing. The weird thing about editing the videos through a live stream, and I've seen some people do this, I don't, like, one, streaming while I edit slows down the editing. 2, I can't render the video while I'm on stream, so I have to end the stream to do that. 3, I have to talk to you guys while also hearing myself talk. Does that make sense? It's weird. So I will stream some things, like if I'm typing up stories or something for Nintendo Prime.net or whatever, I can stream that. But like streaming, editing videos is a little difficult, especially if they're like videos I want to be a surprise, like this Prime Family episode. And like, don't really want to stream it because then it's like you already saw the video too. So there's that too. So I don't know. Matthew McDonald says, I might not be able to watch the whole stream tomorrow, but you'll leave the stream playing in the background so viewership numbers stay high. Thanks, man. Just get some D-brand skins for your chewed up Joy-Cons. No, thanks. I don't, by the way, D-brand, if you would like to sponsor me, I'll gladly take some skins. Look at me just shilling myself out there for some free D-brand skins. Nah, I'd rather reshell them because I'd always know underneath that skin there's some chew marks. Let's see here. You bought a 250 Polaroid case for iPhone and they wanted a review on Amazon. I didn't give them my info. Nah, it's okay. Did you get the Piranha? Oh, I already answered that. Okay, cool. So I guess I'm at the beginning of this thing. Ain't Stream Boss tonight. Who is the Stream Boss right now? It's too small on my screen. I can't tell. Stream Boss is Robert Smith right now. How do I feel with the lack of Metroid Prime 4 news? I feel fine. I don't expect it yet. I don't expect Metroid Prime news until at the earliest E3, and even then, I still don't expect it. I don't expect Metroid Prime 4 news until the end of this year, if at all. Because I don't think Metroid Prime 4 is coming till 2020. So how am I supposed to be upset? It didn't really feel like anyone did anything to make me want to, or like when they announced Metroid Prime 4, it didn't really even sound like the game was that far in development. Like it literally sounded like they just started development like the other day. So yeah, I didn't expect that game to be here yet. I don't expect to hear about it yet. 2020 is the earliest we're getting Metroid Prime 4. So I really don't care about whether or not we've heard it yet. So you guys can keep asking questions here. I'm just going to scroll up and see if there's any from earlier that I can answer that I might have missed. Must be nice having a wife. She's not my wife. She will tell you herself she's not my wife. She's my fiance. There's a difference. Robert Smith says, the code word for bad game is interesting. I read that. Matthew Campos wants to see my amiibo collection. I'm not going to go grab them all right now, but I can basically tell you what they all are. I have the entire Zelda collection, minus the Champions and the 30th Anniversary amiibo. So I have none of the 30th Anniversary Zelda amiibo, and I do not have the Champions. Otherwise, I have all the rest of the Zelda amiibo. I have the Duck Hunt amiibo. I have the Charizard amiibo. I have the 3-pack for Super Mario Odyssey amiibo. I have the 30th Anniversary Mario amiibo, the normal red one, not the one that you had to buy the game to get, or was it like the Wii U? You had to like buy the bundle, whatever. I don't have that one. I just had the normal one you can buy in the pack. That's it. That is all of my amiibo. That's oh no, sorry. I also have the original 3-pack of Splatoon amiibo. So Splatoon 1, the original 3-pack, I have that too. Sorry. I kept thinking, I'm like, I know I'm forgetting something. So, yeah. So, the 2 Squid Kids and the little Squidling from Splatoon 1, I have that. So, that's it. That's literally my amiibo collection. I don't have, there's hundreds of amiibo right now? I don't even know. So, there's a ton of amiibo I don't have. Let me see here. Matthew Campbell says he'll stay for the whole stream. Well, there's going to be 2 streams tomorrow. One of them, they're running. The other one, I'm running. But yeah, it'd be cool if you guys show up and watch that, or at least leave it running on your phone or on your computer or something. All right, that was all the questions that I missed that was up there. Do I think Pikmin 4 will ever get announced? Yes, but I don't know if it's going to be for this generation of Switch. I feel like they put Pikmin 4 on the back burner, even though Miyamoto said it's almost done, so I feel like it's one of those games that they're just going to wait a while to come back to. I think until Pikmin 3 gets ported from Wii U, I'm not going to expect to hear about Pikmin 4. Do you think Rockstar will make a new game for the Switch? No. Whatever Rockstar is working on right now, besides the DLC for Red Dead Redemption 2, they are working on for next gen. I don't think they're going to touch Switch. We'll be lucky to get Grand Theft Auto 5. I don't think we're going to get a new game from them. Am I going to try out Sphinx? Is that the 3D Mummy, right? The remaster or whatever? I think it's a GameCube game, but it's coming to eShop. Yeah, I know. Yeah. No, probably not. I mean, if they send me a review code, I guess I'll check it out. But not currently planning to. Money is tight right now. Tight. So, even though I got all these nice sponsorships and everything, it doesn't necessarily mean that I have a bunch of money. I got a lot of bills. Behind on a few bills, if I'm being completely honest. But we'll be okay. We're catching up here. You switch with some battle scars on it from all of high school doing 2-player split Joy-Con matches, and whatever the D-brand skins helped, the pain go away and looks nice. That's good. I'm glad you like D-brand skins, man. We're just gonna do subscriber. Hey, Kermit the Frog! Guys, we just made it. We have officially made it as a channel. Kermit the Frog has subscribed. Did you guys see that? Tell me you saw that. Kermit the Frog has officially subscribed to Nintendo Prime. That's how you know you've made it. That's it. Doing this forever. Making billions. Let's go. Oh, man. I love when people take copyrighted things and make it their username. Let's see here. Well, Joy-Con Nation says, why can't Nintendo make an Xbox One X level Switch? If they know us hardcore gamers will gladly pay $500 for it, the technology does not exist. You're asking for technology that doesn't exist. Xbox One X and above, there is not currently a mobile chip that can match that performance. So it's not possible to have a Switch that can perform at that level right now. So you are literally asking for something that is impossible. It's not even a price thing. The tech is not in existence. And you have to remember, Nintendo's locked into NVIDIA. They're locked in. They're in a decade-long contract. So the technology can't just exist. It has to exist from NVIDIA. And NVIDIA does not currently have any mobile chips capable of performing at an Xbox One X level that can be put into a tablet. So no. Can't happen. I'm sorry. Not right now. I know you really, really want the super high-end Switch, but it's just not happening. It's not happening. We don't even have a Switch that performs at the level of the Xbox One. So why are we asking for the Xbox One X when we're not even at Xbox One level? Can we get to Xbox One level before we worry about going to the 4K level? Like, can we just get to Xbox One level, please? Like, let's worry about getting to that before we worry about making this massive leap in tech that's not going to be in the mobile space for 5 years to a decade. Like, let's slow our roll a little bit here. By the way, I'm not annoyed by the question. It's just, it's so unrealistic to ask for right now in 2019. Let me see here. MP is a fan of Kermit. Kermit the Frog here. That was a really bad impression. I'm sorry. I literally wish I'd never bothered to try to do that impression right there. I kind of, sort of had brief thoughts of depression off saying that, like, impression. I don't even know what I'm talking about right now. Xenomaster Alien says, who do you think Smash's DLC characters will be? I don't know. I didn't think Joker was going to be in, so at this point, I have no idea. No matter who I say, I'm probably wrong. So, there's no... I can't tell you who I think they will be, because once Joker got announced, it basically made anything possible. So, with anything possible, I don't know. Nathan Drake from Uncharted? I don't know. Hey, Mage from Twitter. What a name. Are you an actual mage? Like the fireball shooting kind? That'd be sick. One of my favorite YouTube channels. You're so cool. Thanks, man. Wait, I guess I shouldn't assume your gender, should I? Right, that's like a thing now. Like, you know, that was like what was the whole thing about 2018? Don't assume genders. So I guess I shouldn't assume your gender in 2019, right? Whatever. According to YouTube, 95% of my audience is male. That's why I assume genders, because YouTube tells me to assume genders. Damn it, YouTube. Anyways, what? Oh, I'm glad I'm one of your favorite YouTube channels, man. Thank you so much for the $2. I appreciate it. Every dollar counts, man. I've talked about it before, and I'll talk about it until we officially made it. You know, I don't know what it's gonna be when I make it as a channel. It's gonna be when I'm not living paycheck to paycheck anymore. And I still think for most of this year, regardless of how successful this channel is, it'll be paycheck to paycheck. But that's okay. It's okay. We're growing. We're going in a positive direction. You guys are awesome. You're so supportive. Our Patreon's been growing at patreon.com/NintendoPrime. The shameless plug. Yeah, so things are in a upward direction. So we'll see if we can keep that going. Let's see here. Scrolling down here. Joe Prostco, Joe Pro, Joe GoPro. What do you think of the rumors that Intel is going to buy out AMD? It's not going to happen. One, the CEO of AMD hates the CEO of Intel. So that's number one. Those people do not get along and would never approve of a sale. I could see Intel wanting to buy out AMD, for sure. But AMD would never approve of the sale. Two, in the United States, the sale would actually be blocked because it would create a monopoly, which is illegal in the U.S. And since these are two U.S.-based companies, it couldn't happen anyways. The federal government would step in and say, can't do it. See, Disney buying Fox isn't the same as Disney owning every media outlet out there. There's still a bunch of other major corporations out there, even if Disney's the biggest. Disney does not have a monopoly. But there's only two major CPU manufacturers. It's Intel and AMD. In addition, AMD is also the other major graphics card manufacturer, although Intel is going to start doing that now. So, yeah, I wouldn't worry about that. It's not going to be allowed to happen. I think those rumors are completely unsubstantiated, and is just another, person in the media writing an opinion piece that people are taking seriously. Just like Apple buying Nintendo, some people taking that super seriously, when it was just someone in the media writing an opinion piece. That's all it was. Let me see. Excuse my stupidity, but is NVIDIA the company that makes those RTX ray tracing cards, as well as the Tegra series? They do make the RTX ray tracing cards, which are not mobile. So the RTX card technology can't be used in a tablet. It is way too hot. Do you want to melt your hands? Because that's what would happen if you threw a ray tracing chip into a tablet. And yes, they make the Tegra series, of which the X1 is currently the top dog. There is another separate SKU of it that people tentatively call the Tegra X2, but it's not really the X2. It's more of like a spin-off of the Tegra line that was made for smart vehicles. It is more powerful, but it's not that much more powerful. So yeah, sure, NVIDIA has all the best GPU tech if we're talking about desktops and laptops. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about a tablet, of which they no longer have the best GPU tech for tablets right now, currently. And they definitely don't have anything remotely close to Xbox One X. So, not in that form factor. Doesn't mean they won't someday, but they currently don't. And Nintendo probably would never do it, because guess what? Nintendo doesn't care about. What have Nintendo repeatedly shown us over the past 20 years? They don't care about the power segment. They don't care about being the most powerful thing out there. They only care about being affordable. $500 would not be affordable. So as much as you might buy it, or I might buy it, or try to buy it, Nintendo, that's not who they are. You're asking for Nintendo to stop being who they are. They're not going to stop being who they are to serve a high-end consumer. They're going to leave that to Sony and Microsoft to take care of. They're not interested in going after those high-end consumers. I have an important question. Does Kermit know Arlo? I don't know. You'll have to ask Arlo. Let me see here. Scrolling down. Do I fear the deer? No. But I think you guys should fear the deer. Milwaukee Bucks. Milwaukee Bucks. Currently with the best record in the NBA. Actually, I don't know. Did Toronto beat Boston tonight? Boston was ahead, but then Toronto came back. So even Memphis came back and made it a 10-point game. Then again, we had our scrubs in for the last 8 minutes. Who won? Oh, Boston won. That means, yes, it's official. The Bucks have the best record in the NBA. Fear the deer, baby. Fear the deer. Big basketball fan, NBA fan for those who don't know. Sports fan in general. NFL, football, and baseball. Those are the three. Do you think we'll get any Pokemon info in a normal direct or a Pokemon focused one? The new next gen Pokemon will be unveiled in its own Pokemon event. It's always unveiled in its own Pokemon event. They've never unveiled Pokemon games at Nintendo Directs. They will do additional information at Nintendo Directs, but they never unveil Pokemon games at Nintendo Directs. They've always done it on their own time in their own event. And no, the events are not always Directs. So, yeah, they'll unveil it when they feel like it. And since it's not coming till the end of this year, I don't think we're going to see anything till summer, just like we didn't see Let's Go until summer. So, I would not expect to see anything until June. Let me see here. Can Nintendo get away with not releasing a game in February? Sure, they can get away with it. It depends on if one of their big hitters is going to hit in April. I would say April. They have I mean, they have a lot of games coming in April, to be fair, but they're like a lot of ports, right? Like, I heard OJ talking the other day, Player Essence. He's like, oh, man, dude, April's so packed. I don't care. Like, if Mortal Kombat for Switch is delayed out of April, who cares? April is so packed with ports. It's just old game ports. It's a ton of old game ports. April's really not that packed. It's like a bunch of old game ports. I don't really view that as packed, you know? Ports don't count to me as like a major game release. Like, especially old school ports. Like, that's like saying like, oh man, you know, Mario 64 got released for Switch that month. That's not a major that's not a major release to me. Mortal Kombat 11 would have been like a brand new game, day and date on Switch. That is way more important to me than getting like Final Fantasy 7 or whatever in that month. Whatevever's coming. I think it's X, X2, and Final Fantasy 12. Like, those are just old games ported to the Switch. Like, okay, cool. Glad to have them. Not a major release. Like, that's filler content. That's literally the definition of filler content. Ports are filler content, not major releases. I'm going to stand by that probably until the day I die. But, you know, it's fine. Let's see here. The weird thing is it doesn't feel like they even have filler content in February. That's what feels really weird right now, is that they should at least have something in February. So even something small, but maybe they do. Guys, I mean, there could still be a Nintendo Direct. Just because it doesn't look like there's going to be one tomorrow because we didn't get an announcement today doesn't mean we're not going to get a Nintendo Direct next week. Doesn't mean that we're not going to get a Nintendo Direct next month. So there still could be games coming. Let's see here. Scrolling down. Hey, Kalo Alley. How's it going? Thanks for stopping by. Nintendo can punch above their weight class. They have many times in the past. They haven't since GameCube. You're asking them to do something they have not done since what, 2001? It's been almost 18 years. They're not going to do it. They have a hybrid out in the market right now. They're not going to punch above their weight class with a hybrid because they're not going to create an expensive hybrid that gets up to the price range of these expensive mobile phones that do more, frankly. So they're not going to get up there. Sorry, I just sent something to my fiance. Anyways, let's see here. The thing is, Capcom made Nintendo go with 4 gigabytes of RAM instead of 2. By the way, they didn't make Nintendo go with 4. They requested that Nintendo double the RAM. Nintendo made the decision to do it. Nintendo didn't want to do it, but it was one of those things that once they looked at the cost, I think Nintendo was reluctant because they were trying to keep the profit margins high. But then they looked at the cost of what an extra 2 gigs would be, and they realized they would still be a profitable platform at 300. So they went ahead and did it anyways. Capcom is the reason it's at 4 gigs, but they didn't make Nintendo do it. They requested Nintendo do it. Big difference. I just want to make that clarification. Capcom is why we have 4 gigs, because they requested it. But requesting doesn't mean that Nintendo's going to listen. Anyways, makes me think Nintendo will never learn that they need to keep up with technology power-wise. The bottom line is Nintendo only cares about Nintendo games. Why should they care about anything else? I mean, look at how indie games are performing. Most of them would have been fine with just 2 gigs of RAM. Look at how well Nintendo games are performing. Most of those would have been fine with just 2 gigs of RAM. All of the best-selling games on Switch are indie titles and Nintendo games, or they're exclusive games to the platform. Why is that? See, this is why, like, when you look at, you know, that you know, they'll never learn they need to keep up with technology power-wise. Why do they need to keep up with technology power-wise? Because you want them to? Because reality is, the Wii is their best-selling system of all time, and it didn't keep up with technology at all. Switch is on pace to be its second best-selling console of all time. Guess what it's doing? Something different and not keeping up with technology at all. Nintendo is onto something here. They are more successful doing what they're doing now than they've ever been doing what they did in the past. When they created those powerful consoles, you know, the N64, the SNES, and, well, I guess the NES at the time. So the NES, the SNES, the N64, and the GameCube. None of those platforms were as successful as when Nintendo said, screw it all, we're not doing that anymore. They are more successful in the here and now doing what they're doing than chasing power. They have never been this successful chasing power. And now they know. They know they can't compete with other companies that do it consistently and just do it better. They can't. So why try to compete? Go for the budget realm. Go for the realm of the people that are looking for a budget option for gaming. Now you might say, oh, the Switch is $300. You can get a PlayStation 4 for $300, soon $200 regularly. Sure, that's going to be a thing. But Switch offers you the ability to play on the go and the ability to play on your TV. And because of that, people view that convenience worth that $100 extra premium on top. So it's still considered a budget platform to them because they don't need to own two separate platforms, right? It's still one platform, but they don't need to own two separate. It kind of takes the place of their 3DS and their Wii U, their 3DS and their PlayStation 4, right? Like, that's the idea. So, and again, Switch is probably going to drop prices later this year anyways. It's probably getting at least a $50 price cut. So it's just... what you want Nintendo to do is different than what Nintendo actually needs to do to be successful. There's just a big difference. And don't get me wrong, I would love a super powerful Switch. I would love to have all AAA games on Switch. I've talked at length about this in the past, how much I adore AAA games. And I would love to have full AAA support on Switch and love to have this Switch with an OLED screen that does 4K and all. Like, I would love to have that. But reality is, Nintendo has proven they're not successful when they go like that power route. They've proven they've never been more successful than they are now going that route. So they're just gonna keep going the route they are. I know it's gonna bother you, and that's fine. Go buy the other platforms. They're now cheap. Go get a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox One S or whatever. Like, go do it. Go do it and play those games. They're just not gonna be there on Switch. I'm sorry. I know you want that all-encompassing platform. Nintendo hasn't been that since the SNES. Let's be realistic here. Nintendo was losing third-party support long before they got out of the power game. If you think that isn't the case, you are lying to yourself. The last time Nintendo had full AAA support was back on the SNES, a system that released in the early 90s. It's been 30 years or so. Basically 30 years since Nintendo had full AAA support. What? They did the power game for 2 more generations, and they still couldn't keep, like, they just kept losing support. Every generation, they lost more and more third-party support. So Nintendo said, screw it, we don't care about them anymore. If they want to come to our platform, great. If they don't, who cares? We make more games than anybody else, and now we have a platform where we can put all of our games on one platform. So now we're not making games for 2 different platforms. We're making them all for one platform. Primarily, I know they're still trickling games over 3DS. The point is, a majority of the resources are pumped into Switch, making them release more games for Switch. So they feel they don't need third parties. They need a killer idea of a platform. Wii back in the day, now Switch, and then they just need the games to support it. Breath of the Wild, Odyssey, ARMS, Splatoon 2, Octopath Traveler, get those exclusivity deals through the door. Metroid Prime 4, Bayonetta 3, Super Mario Party, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate just killing it. Let's Go Pikachu. Like, they're just releasing games. Xenoblade Chronicles 2. They got that deal with Ubisoft for Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Like, just keep hitting us with those games. That's what's going to... the platform being sexy combined with their games is why Nintendo platforms sell. People hate when they hear that. They hate when they hear Michael Pachter say that, but that's the truth. The truth is, Doom and Wolfenstein 2 are not why Switch is sold. It's amazing that we have Doom and Wolfenstein 2 on Switch. I love that we have them. Panic Button's amazing. Thank you so much. I love we're getting Mortal Kombat 11. I love that we got an NBA 2K the last 2 years. But the bottom line is, none of those are selling Switches. That's not why the Switch is selling. That might be why people pick up the next Xbox or the next PlayStation 5 has no killer exclusive at launch, but it has Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed, and NBA and NFL. So they pick it up to play one of those new games on the latest and greatest platform. People don't buy Switches to do that. It's just something they pick up if they already have a Switch. I hate to be that kind of person, but it's the reality. You're asking for Nintendo to stop being Nintendo. You're asking for them to go back to a mentality that failed. It failed. And even when they had that mentality, they still didn't have full AAA support. So it's been like 30 years. It's time to let go. I hate saying it, but the days of Nintendo having full AAA support are gone. It's never happening again. I don't want to be right, by the way. I hope I get proven wrong. But it's been 30 years. Why should I expect anything different? There hasn't been any indication I should expect anything different. We're getting some third-party AAA games. We should be happy with that because it's a heck of a lot more than we were getting on the Wii U. Especially this late in the life cycle. By this time in the Wii U, I think all we had left to look forward to was Watch Dogs 2. Or Watch Dogs. And the reason we still got to look forward to Watch Dogs is because it was delayed on Wii U. So like by now, all third-party support was done. We had Watch Dogs, and that was the last game coming. So just be happy we have better support than we've had before, but we're never going to get back to full AAA support because Nintendo's not making standard systems anymore. And a portable system will never be able to stand up. I mean, look at my well, you can't see it, but like my PC over there, that's like this big. The Xbox One X, that's like this big. A tablet's never going to compete with that crap. So Nintendo said, screw it. Why compete with it? Why compete in a market we consistently have proven for 30 years we can't compete in? We're going to compete in a market we have dominated the entire history of them making video games. Handheld. And we're going to take that handheld and make it able to play on your TV, so then we can call it a home console, when really it's still a handheld using handheld portable technology, and it's one of the best handhelds in the world at what it does. It's literally the best gaming handheld in the world. Even all the phones out there. There are phones that have better performance, but they don't necessarily play better games, and they don't have better controls. So overall, Switch is still the best mobile form of playing video games that you can hold in your hand. Obviously, laptops you can argue are better, but those are meant for your lap, not, holding in your hand. So it's the best handheld thing out there, and Nintendo's always dominated that market. So they're taking that market. They're kind of convincing some home console people that, hey, look, like, you can come into this market too, because this system's for you too. And that's where they're going to live. And it's a brilliant move. Good on you, Nintendo. But we got to give up on that idea. That idea that Nintendo's ever going to get full third-party support back. That Nintendo's ever going to jump back into the power game. Because they're not going to do it. It wasn't successful for them. And they've been more successful not doing it. I know the hope is, just serve everyone, but... Joel Prosco says, what do you think of the latest Digital Foundry video about the next Switch revision? Not sure if I agree with some of their points, like the Switch handling 4K upscaling. It's a little weird because 4K upscaling is already possible with the Tegra X1. 4K upscaling is not a very, it's not very taxing. Upscaling natively on the system to 4K is not a taxing thing at all. So the only thing that prevents it is the speed of the USB-C port. They could fix that if they want. So it's possible. I'm not sure that Nintendo cares. The only time you're really going to see it even be taken advantage of is like Hulu. If Hulu goes to 4K, or if they get Netflix on the system, you can watch 4K Netflix. You're not going to see it very often with games using the upscaler, but just like with Xbox One S, like the Xbox One S, has a 4K upscaler, but it doesn't really get put to use very well with games. Your TV still ends up upscaling. So, it'll be, if it's there, it'll be mostly used for multimedia purposes than anything else. So I could see them doing it just because it costs pennies, and they could give us the ability to stream multimedia 4K. But I don't think Nintendo cares about having the ability to put the letters 4K on the box. I don't think they care about that. So, let's see here. Brian Shan says, no matter how great all the games did this year, I feel by far the best game on the Switch is Breath of the Wild. Not even close. Well, okay. I mean, Breath of the Wild is my favorite game of all time, so you won't hear any arguments here. Will we get a Zelda port soon? I don't know. I wish I did know. I think we're getting something Zelda in 2020 for sure. We got a Zelda port last year, technically, Hyrule Warriors, but I don't know. I don't know. The Wind Waker HD, I think, would... Skyward Sword HD to me makes sense, but I can see them bringing over the Wind Waker HD first. Let's see here. Scroll down here. On Amazon, Mortal Kombat 11 still listed for same day on all platforms. Yeah, it's just in the UK, and it's on the WB website in the UK. Oh, and France. So, who knows? Who knows if it's actually delayed? It's probably... I don't know. I mean, it might... We still have plenty of time for them to delay it, so who knows? Did I ever get the Fractured Butthole for Switch? I have the... Yes, I do have the Fractured Butthole. I don't have the Stick of Truth is the one I don't have. I have Stick of Truth on Steam, but Fractured Butthole, I have that on Switch. Yes. It's not currently installed because my memory card's full. 256 gigs down the drain. I need a 400 gig. Probably should spring for the 500, but I can't afford either one of them, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I'm at the point now where I'm archiving, and it sucks. I hate when I archive games, because as soon as I archive a game, I know I'm probably never going to play it again. Because I don't want to take the time to re-download it. Let's see here. But ports can be very important low key. I totally agree with you, Mage from Twitter. They can be important, but I don't think they should replace major releases. They could still be important, and you could still have a major release. You don't have to have one or the other. That's kind of my point. Like, if you're gonna have a bunch of ports in April, that doesn't mean you can't have major releases too. Like, they don't replace them; they're in addition to, right? Like. And I get some people are going to play Final Fantasy, X and X2 and 12 in that month more than anything else. That's fine. But it's like that doesn't mean that like everyone else that isn't going to play Final Fantasy or whatever shouldn't have like an option to play games, that aren't just indie titles. Not that indie titles aren't fantastic, but a lot of people like, the bigger titles. And I know like Yoshi's Crafted World comes out around that time, blah, blah, blah. Like I get it. Like we're going to have at least that to play. Let's see here. And for now, Mortal Kombat 11, because it's still slated for that slot. Oh, different shows, of course, alongside the lighting engines and optimization for Smash 4 versus Ultimate and Splatoon 1, 2, and 90 Day. Yep, you're right. OJ says some crazy stuff. I mean, he's just speaking his mind. I say crazy stuff, too. So remember that video I made about how Pokemon Let's Go Eevee might hit 30 million in sales? I mean, come on. I say some pretty crazy stuff. I just do. I say crazy things. Everyone does. Even if they don't think it's crazy at the time. In hindsight, that was pretty crazy. Let's see here. The BitBlock says, yeah, but the Wii started to have a major third-party problem due to the lack of power in the hardware. It did. But that third-party problem started back on the N64. Once the PlayStation came into play, and Square and other companies left Nintendo entirely. And it just got worse with the GameCube and even worse with the Wii. It was a progression. Like, people look at it as, oh, because the Wii was weak is why it didn't have, proper third-party support. It didn't have proper third-party support because the GameCube didn't have proper third-party support. And the N64 didn't have proper third-party support. Did the N64 and GameCube have better third-party support than the Wii? Sure. But each system progressively had less and less third-party support. And then Wii had less third-party support. Wii U had less third-party support. Now, Switch has sort of turned it around a little bit, but that doesn't mean it's the third-party support everyone cares about. But it's turned it around a little bit. But it's still not all the way there. It's not even back to Wii levels yet. We're not even back to Wii levels yet of third-party support. So, let me see. See, the BitBlock, this is where I'm going to disagree with you a bit. And the thing about, because I read your comment here, you said, and the Wii was successful because it had, I don't even know if you're still here, but if you are, it says, and the Wii was successful because it had a unique and interesting gimmick. The motion controls, obviously, and Wii Sports being a brilliant packing game for that. Like, I mean, can we just, like, give Nintendo an applause for, like, the brilliance of Wii Sports and the motion controls at that time? Like, What a brilliant combination. And then they had Twilight Princess come as well. So, like, you could get some of the hardcore faithful with Twilight Princess, and then once you grab them and the casuals try, you know, and like someone tries out Wii Sports and you're like, wait a second, this makes sense. So that was like an amazing thing. But he says the Switch doesn't have the it factor for a mainstream audience like we did. Yes, it does. The problem for you, Josh, is that the it factor is something you don't care about. The it factor is that it's a portable and a home console. It's an it factor that you just don't care about. And it's fine that you don't care about it. I think the difference for you is you love the Wii. Like, you love the Wii. You love that it factor. You don't love the it factor of the Switch. But the market is speaking, and the market is loving the it factor of the Switch. The market is loving that it's a handheld that you can dock with your TV. Nintendo, they've had the ability to do stuff like this before. You know, like the game. You know your Nintendo history. I'm sure many of you, besides Josh Thomas, know your Nintendo history. You know, with like the Game Boy connector on the bottom of the GameCube, or like the Super Boy for the SNES. So you've been able to play handheld games on home consoles before, but you've never had one system that did both, right? So the thing is that the Switch's it factor is just a factor you personally don't give a crap about. But it's almost at a 38 million install base over 2 years. I mean, that's 38 million Switches in 2 years. Hard to really look at that and be like, yeah, that it factor of it being the Switch, you know, two different form factors isn't working. Like, it is. The market is speaking. It's working. It's just like you hate all those Wii U ports, but the market is speaking and they're buying them. I mean, bottom line is, I know you're upset about all those Wii U ports. Don't get mad at Nintendo. Get mad at the people buying them. If you don't want the Wii U ports to keep happening, tell people to stop buying them. The problem is they're buying them. So it sucks. It sucks for someone like you who doesn't like the Switch. Doesn't like the it factor of the Switch anyways, and then doesn't like the Wii U ports. Unfortunately, 38 million people disagree. We're close to 38 million. We're not quite there yet. That's if they hit their 20 million projection. Let's see here. What order do you think these will come out? Animal Crossing, Pokemon, Luigi's Mansion 3, Fire Emblem, Town, Daemon X Machina, Bayonetta 3. Bayonetta 3 is not coming this year. I'm like 100% confident. That is a 2020 title. Luigi's Mansion, I think, is going to land in October because it just makes a lot of sense for a Luigi's Mansion game. Pokemon's not coming till November. They already said, they've confirmed like several times, Pokemon is a late 2019 game. So you know what that means? Holiday 2019. That means November. So that's when that's going to come out. Animal Crossing feels like a summer game. It feels like a game that's going to either come out in June, July, or August. Fire Emblem, I don't know. Fire Emblem is kind of that wild card that I don't know. I thought that was going to be a spring game. It still might be a spring game. But I'm not sure on that one. Town, I think, is going to come during the summer. Daemon X Machina, I think, is definitely coming spring. Just because. Fire Emblem itself, that could be a December title. That might be a September title as well. I'm not sure. Not sure what the plan is with that. I was hoping that would be an earlier year title, but not sure. So basically the order would then be Daemon X Machina, and then Town for sure, then Animal Crossing, then Fire Emblem, then Luigi's Mansion, then Pokemon, then Bayonetta 3 in 2020, if you want to know the order. Do you play your Switch more in handheld or in docked mode? In docked mode more, but I do play it in handheld as well. Handheld upstairs, docked mode downstairs. Basically how it works for me. First party games don't need to keep up with current gen. They're selling ports for $60 in 2012. They need to keep making great games. Agree with you there. Fire Emblem is slated for Q2 of this year. That would be spring. Well, spring/summer. Yeah, it's kind of spring. It's kind of spring / beginning of summer, Q2. So as I said, I thought Fire Emblem would be a spring title. It still might be. So, but we don't until we have an exact date. What it's slated at doesn't matter. It could be delayed, and who knows. I see a $30 price cut with a 64 gig micro SD card being packed in. The GameCube was not successful due to the power, or was it because the system was a purple lunchbox with a handle, or because it used mini discs that couldn't hold as much data? Blah, 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 blah. We can point to a zillion reasons, but the facts are the third-party support was less on GameCube than on N64. N64, it was less than it was on SNES, and Wii was less than it was on GameCube, and Wii U was less than it was on Wii. Switch has kind of turned it around where it's more than it was on Wii U, but it's not more than it was on Wii. We'll see. Don't get me wrong, the Switch for a half-inch tablet ain't a slouch, but sometimes some muddy textures in third-party games can take you out sometimes, and that's exactly why the system isn't reliant upon those third-party games. Can the next gen keep the same graphics and get rid of loading screens? Probably not, because they're just going to keep pushing things more and more and more, keeping loading screens around, because most gamers don't care about loading screens. What some developers have done is they've made loading screens extremely clever. They've made it where loading screens do some brilliant things in some of the games. I'll just leave it at that. Where they kind of hide that there's a loading happening. I like games that do that. Let me see here. Let's see here. Just kind of scrolling down. Wish I had one buddy. All I have is a wife. Hey, sometimes it's the only buddy you need. Scrolling down. There's been a lot of people adding me here. Scroll down. Zumakito says, you should make a video about the power thing if you haven't already. It was fun to hear you talk about that. About why Nintendo won't go back to power. I actually... spoiler, I guess. It's not really a spoiler. I have an editorial, an op-ed editorial in the works about about why we shouldn't expect Nintendo to release a powerful platform ever again. Or at least in the foreseeable future. And some of the points I made were obviously going to be made in that video too. Even though, as BitBlock said, it's not just the power. There's a lot of other reasons. And I don't think power was necessarily the reason. But from Nintendo's perspective, like we're all thinking about how we see these other reasons. All Nintendo saw is they made a system more powerful than the PlayStation 2 that got crushed. That's what all Nintendo saw with GameCube. We made a system more powerful than the PlayStation 2, and we got absolutely wrecked. So we're not going to do that again. Then again, they kind of tried to do a Wii U, but it'll be an interesting editorial. Let's just put it that way. I got a lot of thoughts on that situation that I didn't even get into. So sorry if you get some repeat information in there. That's just going to happen. But so do you think tomorrow they're going to show off Switch-specific gameplay of Mortal Kombat 11, or are they just going to show gameplay that represents all versions? I'm assuming gameplay that represents all versions, although they'll probably be like, oh, they're going to show off the best version. It's going to be Xbox One X or something like that. They're going to show off the best-looking version because that's usually what they do at media events. So I would expect to just see the best-looking version of the game. Let me see here. Madden 64, the Patriots were called the Foxborough because the NFL quarterback club had rights. Yep, and Bill Belichick's never been in an NFL game because he wouldn't give his naming rights in the coaching association to video games. So it's always like New England coach. When do you think we'll see our first Switch physical release on a cart greater than 32 gigabytes? When do you think we'll see our first Switch release on if Nintendo makes one? If Nintendo doesn't make one, then never. And about the Switch Pro, everyone talks about battery life, but on the go, you don't necessarily even need half of whatever the dot resolution would be, as well as the draw distance, etc. Okay. Oh my God, Nate, your idea is actually working. Try hard, grind for revenue. Hopefully you make it far. Thanks, Owl. I mean, it's working and it's not working. Our Patreon has like stopped growing, kind of. The Patreon needs to keep growing because the ad revenue is still not there. So our ad revenue isn't there yet. The super chat and donation revenue is still like I was going over my finances as I was filing my taxes, And like, dude, we are our donation and super chat revenue went from like up here to like we're in the garbage can right now. Like, we were getting hundreds and hundreds of dollars a month in super chats and donations, and now we're not. You know, maybe we'll break 100 in a good month. So like, that revenue's way down. Our ad revenue is okay, not great, but okay. And our whatchamacallit revenue, the Patreon revenue's gone up, but now it's just kind of stopped and it's not going up anymore. So we're kind of in this in-betweener where like things are going okay right now. And yeah, we have some sponsorships. Haven't really gotten paid from any of them yet, so hard to even say much about that, but things are looking up. Don't get me wrong. But that doesn't mean things are going to keep looking up. So I'm trying to basically be is it pessimistic, or like I want to be optimistic, but I also want to be realistic. All of the progress I have made so far doesn't guarantee future progress. That's what I guess what I'm trying to say. So things are going okay, but still not really where we need to be. Got plenty of time left, 2.5 months to try to do it, but we'll see. I love my X1 One X, but I hate turning it on and dealing with the interface and having to connect to the internet. I guess that's another reason why I want to do a single do-it-all console. Well, if you just put it in sleep mode, it stays connected to the internet, but I understand if you don't want to do that. I mean, it doesn't take up that much power in sleep mode, but I get it. Do I take song requests, Nate? Joke here, you know that. $5 super chats or donations is how you get songs to play. It's been that way forever. It's going to be that way forever. $5 super chats or donations, you can request songs. You can pretty much request anything. I tried to stay away from some of the stuff that really gets copyright striked now, though. We've had a couple of our streams. I actually had an actual copyright strike on the channel the other day that thankfully my MCN helped me take care of. But I'm going to be a lot more careful about some of the more like mainstream kind of music because they're really cracking down hard now, and I don't want any more copyright strikes on the channel. So like Nintendo music's fine. You can request whatever Nintendo music you want. Every single Nintendo song is now on, like, totally. We can do it. Not a problem. Thanks, Nintendo. As long as there's commentary. I think a live stream counts as commentary. Fire Emblem, blah, blah, blah. Read that. Let's see here. Scrolling down. Have I played the Resident Evil 2 demo? No, I have not. Do you think we'll ever see a Turok game on Switch? Probably not. Do we even still get Turok games anywhere? I don't even think they're still being made, are they? Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't remember one for a while. I would like to see Time Splitters. Some Time Splitter games come back and get remastered. That would be sweet. I love Time Splitters. One of my favorite like multiplayer shooters that just vanished off the face of the earth. Cool. I think I caught up to the chat. Joke here hits us with the $5. Etrian Odyssey 5 Redshift Corridor. Loud, please. Well, I mean, I can't get it too loud. My kids are sleeping. So, like, let's relax here a little bit, but you get what you get. I'm sorry that maybe it won't be as loud as you want it to be. We'll start at 50% volume and we'll see where it's at. I got a whole stream to consider here. It's a 6-minute and 43-second song, huh? Or wait, let's go. Wait, let's go with the OST version. Is it playing? Yeah, it is. Just turn it up a little bit on my end to hear it. Let me know if this was the one you were thinking of. I think yeah. Etrian Odyssey 5 Redshift Corridor. Yeah. I think this is it. No. Anyways. Someone make him drink tequila. Dude, that's $100. No one's doing $100 super chat or donation tonight. Come on, let's be real. Yeah, that's the hundo spot. There's a reason I think I've touched one shot out of that bottle of tequila, and I've had that bottle for like 2 months, 3 months. Yeah. I am very fortunate, I suppose. What are my favorite indie games on Switch? Well, let's grab my Switch and look, huh, shall we? 'Cause I can only base it I can only base it on games I've played. So there's a ton of great indie games I have not played. So, Hollow Knight. I don't know if that's showing. Hollow Knight for sure. It's one of my favorites. I really like Ukulele. I know some people don't, but I like Ukulele. Let me see here. I haven't played YouTuber's Life yet. I gotta try that out. I do have that on here. And Brawlhalla, which I haven't tried yet. Let's see here. Blossom Tales. Overcooked and Overcooked 2 are both fantastic as well. I gotta get Overcooked 2. I played it at E3. I really need to buy that game. That game is awesome. Tiny Metal's really good. I did a review of that last year. Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus as well. Obviously, Binding of Isaac's great, but Afterbirth Plus, I have that. That about wraps it up for my favorites that I have played. Potentially a review I have coming out tomorrow might be unveiling another favorite, potentially. But is Late Shift an independent studio? Because I like that one too. That's one of those like FMV, like video, like movies that you can make decisions in. I really like that game a lot. That game, that interactive experience, that interactive movie, whatever it's called. I've heard this before. I'd just be happy if the next Switch is on the same level as the PlayStation 5 as the current Switch is in the PlayStation 4. Well, that's 3 or 4 years from now. I'm not sure. Probably 3 or 4 years from now. We'll see how much I get back from this year on my tax return. If I get as much as I think I will, I'll buy some shots. Nice. Nice. Last year, Be Righteous gave us a big chunk of his tax return to send us to E3. I really want to go to E3 this year, but I don't know. I got to worry about the channel making it right now. I can't worry about E3. So, might take out a loan to go to E3. It is something I'm debating about, but obviously interest rates and all that suck with loans, but we'll see. My channel last year really started to go on the rise after the trip to E3, or during the trip to E3, I should say. So, am I the only one who hasn't touched a 3DS since the Switch was released? No, you're not. I have not even powered on my 3DS since the Switch released. I think it should be. Oh, you want to play Bowser's Inside? Gotcha. I think it's just a remaster of it. I mean, I know they added new content, but it's just a remaster of a game you could have already played. What do you think of Furukawa so far? I like how matter of fact he is. He's a businessman. He says businessman-like things. He hasn't said anything that makes me angry. He just doesn't really say. He doesn't really give you insights into much. I think Furukawa is going to be a kind of CEO that is never going to promise us anything. He's just going to say what it is. He's just going to say things like they are. He's just going to regurgitate what's already publicly known. And that's about it. Behind the scenes, maybe he does some other things. I don't know. But he's not a game developer. He's openly admitted he doesn't make games. Doesn't know much about the game side of things, which is weird to run a gaming company when you don't know much about game side of things. I know he's been at Nintendo for a long time, so he's got the gist of it. But it's interesting. It's interesting. He's going to be a matter-of-fact-like CEO that isn't really ever going to give us much. Because he's not like Iwata. Iwata cared about the gamers a lot. Furukawa doesn't really care that much about the gamers because he's not a gamer himself. He's not a game developer himself. He's a businessman. He's a number cruncher. He's a money maker. He cares about the numbers. So that's what you're going to hear from him. Very matter-of-fact, like factual-based statements. You're not going to hear hype and that kind of stuff. And some people are going to like that because that's what most business... He is basically more of a typical CEO than Nintendo has had in a while. Joy Carnage says, I refuse to turn on an inferior piece of hardware. I'm not a graphics or hardware whore, but I just can't go back. So you can't go back, but you're not a graphics or hardware whore. I mean, not being able to turn on, you literally called it inferior piece of hardware. I mean, I'm not saying you're a graphics whore, but a technology whore maybe. If you can't go back, then I don't go back because I don't have interest in playing games I've already played and beaten. So like, that's why I don't go back. I don't play them when they come out again either. If I've already played and beaten them, I'm good. I'm good. I don't need to play them again. So I don't get that desire to want to play it when it comes out on 3DS. Like, I already played and beaten it. I'm good. I'm good. So it's a little bit of new content. Oh, well, I'm good. It's not like one of my favorite. It's not like Breath of the Wild. Like, if Breath of the Wild re-release and has some slightly new content, I'd probably pick it up because it's my favorite game of all time. But besides that, there's not really that many games I'll just re-pick up again. That is why Iwata was so good. Well, Iwata was really good with talking to gamers, for sure. Not necessarily the greatest on the business side of things, but he was really good at communicating to gamers. That's why he was so likable, to be honest. Oh, that song ended. Okay. I was like, this is a different song. Final Boss. I recognized it. I'm like, wait a second. That's not the same song. It was such a long song that I forgot it was playing. E-Train Odyssey, Nexus, Persona Q2. Swan Song. Hold on. Sending something to my fiance. You sound like those PC Master Race guys. Except you sound like those PC Master Race guys that want to deny what they are. Yeah, I don't care about, like, you know, I'm not a graphics whore or technology guy or anything, but I can't go back to old hardware. It's like, so you are. You just want to pretend you're All right. Well, I got to go. I got other stuff I got to do. I just realized I've been streaming a little longer than I wanted to. Thank you guys so much. I got 2 other videos I got edited tonight, so it's going to be a late night. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I'll catch you later. Peace out. A-Town. Oh, I should give a shout out to all of our super chats. Thank you, Matthew Campos, for your $2 super chat. Joe Kier for your $5. Mage from Twitter for your $2. Cody Shadley for your $2.02. That was a donation. Robert Smith for your $2.01. And Matthew Campos for your $2 in total, because some people like to know the running total. That was $13.01. Well, actually, sorry, $15.03 tonight. Thank you so much. Love you guys, and I'll see you in some videos tomorrow. Tomorrow's a crazy day. Remember, we got double live streams tomorrow. Some unique content coming out. I think a game review might be dropping tomorrow. Probably a Prime Family episode. We're going to be loaded tomorrow. Locked and loaded. And that's in addition to whatever news comes out. So, lots of stuff going on, guys. All right.